And now I am joined with a indie pro wrestler from the New England area. Vanity Vixsin is joining me right now. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and thank you so much for being on this evening. Truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for contacting me. I'm very honored to be on.
Very happy to have you on. Let's go ahead and begin. What made you decide to become a wrestler? How did it all start off for you?
Well, it all started. My brother used to wrestle me when I was younger. So then I went to a show, and it was in Salisbury, Mass. I went to a show and I saw the wrestling, and I ended up meeting my boyfriend at the show, and I ended up joining so that I could be with him. So that's how it started.
So, according to your Facebook fan page, you currently work for Liberty States
Yes.
and NECW while you train at NEPW. What was it like going through the training process for NEPW?
Um, it's it's tough, but it's awesome. We get here, we change up, we um we get in line, we do our blow ups and a whole bunch of calisthenics. After we're all done with that, we get into the ring and we start training and uh, learning stuff and getting our pretty much perfected. So that know what we're doing right and wrong because we have the trainers here, which is Brian Fury, who does own the school. Then there's my boyfriend Amato. He's known as Sethrin. He's the one that him and Johnny Vegas train in the beginners ring. So that's what we pretty much do here. But it's amazing because it's something I love to do. So I'll get in that ring and I sweat.
So I've interviewed a lot of female wrestlers throughout the years, and for what they told me, they be like there be a few or one of the only female wrestlers trained with a bunch of guys. Was that something that you've been through, being one of the few, if not the only female wrestler training with the guys?
Absolutely. When I first started, like I said, with my boyfriend Amato, back, I've been doing it for 21 years. So back then, it was legit just me, and there was just all men. So at the time, I did managing, but I was training to do like take different other types of moves as a manager. So it was like legit just me and guys. So I mean, it was tough, but it was good because I learned a lot, and it once there was a girl that came in, it was like, oh my God, thank God. It's like another female is wrestling with us, and it's but no, it's I loved it. I learned a lot with all the guys.
Man, so as you pointed out, you have wrestled for quite a while.
Yes,
Definitely shows a lot of longevity on your part to still do this sport, given how much it can take out of a human's body. Um, what do you think is the key for your longevity that's kept you around, that has keep you wanting to continue to pursue this?
working out, definitely dieting, but pretty much just treating your body right. But exercising has been the biggest thing. I go to the gym all the time. I love to do cardio, so that helps a lot. But that's the biggest thing is just keep going to the gym and working out because that's what's gonna help your body.
Definitely something for a lot of aspiring wrestlers to learn. Um, be in good shape, be in good condition to go out there and perform and be the best wrestler that you can possibly be. Because there's a lot of people wanting those opportunities, and they're not getting those opportunities. Maybe because there's too many people on the roster, or maybe something else bigger than that. I'm not sure, but you know, opportunity presents to you, you seize the moment. You make the most out of it. And that there's a saying, you're only as good as your last match. You know, and how,
Hey,
yeah, so it's a matter of making the most of the opportunity and how much you're willing to do in order to stay around. You know, because
exactly.
wrestling is it's not for everybody, male and female.
No.
If you can't take the punishment, if you can't take the grind that it takes, then you know it's not for you. So you know you may want to be a doctor, you may want to be a lawyer, you may want to be something else because wrestling it takes more than just talking on the microphone. You have to do it in between those ropes at the end of the day. Um,
Exactly.
so there's another wrestler that I've interviewed before. Her name is also Vanity, but she just calls herself Vanity. You are Vanity Vixsin. Uh,
Correct.
so has there ever been a time where you've been mixed up for that particular Vanity?
No. Just because when I very first started, it was spelled a different way, but I like now it's the Vixsin, and it's completely different from everybody else. So I looked around, but no, I've never been mixed up.
That's good. That's very good. So, who do you consider like influences in your wrestling career? It could be anyone from the indies. It could be anyone from the pros. Like, who do you consider your biggest influences?
Um, I can say right now my boyfriend Amato, who's known as Catherine, if it wasn't for him like training me, being really hard on me, not making me give up, he's one. Brian Fury is the other. He's another one that's really helped me not give up and train. And I got to tell you, China's a woman. I'm trying to keep up with her, watching her stuff. She's amazing.
It was
That would
definitely
be
it was definitely a shocker. Um, when I guess to some people when she passed away.
definitely.
She did have her transgressions. That's no denying about it. But her contributions to the WWE and wrestling altogether are on a high level. When she didn't just broke barriers, she destroyed them,
She
and
took those
she
down.
took it down. And she was the first female wrestler I saw that went up against guys
Exactly.
that have encountered. Now, usually with managers, they will have, especially females, they will have the encounters with the male wrestlers. But China was more than that, just a manager. She was a wrestler herself, obviously, and she wasn't afraid to go against the guys. I mean,
Not
she
at all.
she went up, stood toe to toe with Kane.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
No, no,
Unbelievable.
no sign of fear whatsoever. She definitely believed in herself. She believed in her ability that she can literally take on any guy or any
Ex-
female, you know. And the matches she had with Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental title,
Amazing.
one of the most memorable moments. And Chris Jericho, ironically, the I guess the big success he's had storyline wise was a woman with Stephanie and
Right.
China. So I mean, and I have a story about China, and this was before her passing. She was, I think, her last wrestling appearance or whatever was in Kentucky, my neck of the woods,
That is so awesome.
and I had an opportunity to meet her. Unfortunately, her car broke down,
Oh
and
no.
I couldn't be there at the wrestling event for long. I had another engagement to go to. But from what my friends told me that they were in attendance, she came like after the first intermission, People say she was a great person. She was a sweetheart,
A
and
beautiful woman.
just an amazing person. Um, so rest in peace to Joni Laurer, aka the Ninth Wonder of the World, a former Intercontinental Champion, a former Women's Champion, first female to be in the Royal Rumble and King of the Ring tournament. And I think there'll be a lot of good wrestlers, but there will never be another China.
No, I
Uh,
agree with you.
no, I don't think there's ever going to be another person like her when it pertains to intergender wrestling on the pro level. Because
Right,
nowadays it's just man versus man, woman versus woman now. You'll have your mixed tag team matches, but that's about it.
right.
You're not going to have intergender wrestling matches with WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor. Now, you may get those on the indie scenes, but on the pro level, I don't think we'll ever see another intergender match again. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
so, now, what are some of your upcoming wrestling matches or wrestling events that you're going to be a part of that you would like to promote?
So, this Saturday, um, it's NECW and it's the WWW. It's run by Sheldon Goldberg. It's the it's the World Women's Wrestling. It's the 2016 Iron Maiden Championship. So that is an amazing event to go to because it's the first woman ever to do that. So there'll be 4 matches, and then the 4 winners of that will be going into the Iron Maiden at the end, and whoever wins that will win the women's belt. So I'm pretty excited to get my chance and show them just how tough I am. Then, of course, September 10th, it's the anniversary of the NECW, which is also run by Sheldon Goldberg. It's their big birthday bash 15. So those are my major ones that are coming up right now. And thankful to Sheldon who took me in. And if it wasn't for Kevin Castro and Chris Norman or Bo Douglas trying to get me in there, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. Taking names and kicking ass.
There you go.
Taking their names.
Yeah.
These ladies got to realize I'm taking their names, and I'll be seeing them all Saturday.
So more info on this show coming up this weekend. It's going to be at Miracle Civic Center in Wakefield, Massachusetts. So, and speaking of this, the woman's involvement of this event, for the Iron Maiden champion with a trophy to be awarded to the winner, Nikki Valentine was stripped of the championship on
Which was so unfair.
back in July
We did
9th.
nothing wrong.
So the 8 women who are assigned to compete in the tournament is Nikki herself, you, Mistress Belmont,
Yep.
Alexis Nevaeh, Tequila Rose, MJ Jenkins, who I've seen wrestle before. She's very good. Sonya
She was
Strong.
one tough partner. I took her on in July. She's one tough cookie.
hmm And
But I still came out the winner.
Sonya Strong and the
Mhm.
debuting of another female I've seen wrestle before, Solo Darling. And
Yes.
in addition to the tournament, TC Stars will be in a tag team action up against Helen Vale Toxins. So be on the lookout for that show this weekend. Support women's wrestling. Support your indie pro companies near you. Check out Vanity Vixsin and her upcoming shows, and show your support. Um, so I'm sure you may have heard, or better yet, read the headlines recently that Conor McGregor, well-known UFC fighter, who's got a fight
Yes.
coming up with Nate Diaz, he said some things about the WWE. He said a word referring to, I guess people thought it was fans at first, a word that rhymes with the word wussies.
Yep.
And then he elaborate by saying he didn't mean to disrespect the fans. However, he said he will whoop anyone in the main roster, and he has gotten a lot of responses, not just for current superstars, man and woman, but for former superstars as well, like MVP and Mr. Ric Flair. You being a
Yeah.
wrestler, Miss Vanity Vixen, and to hear a mixed martial art fighter said these things, your thoughts on Conor McGregor's comment?
It's like, you know what? You may do the MMA fighting for that, but you know what? Come in the ring with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, A, we're not wussies, and it's not fake. It's like people think he's thinking it's like not hardcore. It's like, you're wrong. First of all, women go out there and bust their toots to make sure that we put on a great show and make sure people don't think it's fake or we're wussies. But no, I mean, bring it on. You know what? I'm sorry to say, I have no problem fighting a dude. Bring it on. I mean, I'm not an MMA fighter. I might get my butt kicked, but I'll bring it on just to show you I ain't no wussy. And I know a lot of other people are probably, he's going to have a line because everybody's going to want a piece of him. Everybody's going to want a piece of him, that's for sure. But he shouldn't talk. He shouldn't talk about it until he gets in the ring and sees how it is. But it's like Brock says, come on and bring it in. Come see me. I don't think I'd ever want to fight that guy.
No, no, I don't care if he's on the wards or not. You may want to leave that guy alone.
Exactly.
He's got enough animosity towards him as it is. I mentioned this before I had you on, and this is one thing I forgot to mention as it pertains to McGregor. He's a hypocrite saying that he can whoop these people, and yet on that same conference call, he said he has no intentions of being a wrestler. So why are you saying you have no intention to do it when you said that you're going to you can whoop anyone in that main roster? A bunch of guys have responded. Big E has responded. Kofi has responded. Roman Reigns, albeit with the spell check, he did fix it. Just thought I just had to nitpick at Roman for a moment, but a bunch of people have responded to him. Even Sasha Banks, the current women's champion, responded. But he needs to focus on Nate Diaz and not go after regardless of what you feel about the WWE, good and bad. You know, wrestling is a fraternity. You go at one person, you go at them all. So
we're like family.
Yeah.
It's like no matter how much somebody hates each other or not hate each other, you just go after one, and that's it. We're united, and we will stand tall together. It's like, and that's every promotion place. Like every wrestler, male, female, we are a family, and that's the biggest difference. It's like once you knock one down, that's it, man. You just mess with us all.
So,
and for him to contradict that, I mean, like, come on, dude. What were you trying to do? Like, didn't think you were going to get this response? Of course there's going to be a response.
Man, never say never in the wrestling business. If WWE were to reach out to him and gave him a huge payday for it, I bet he would.
Of course.
So the money thing is going to determine whether he's going to go for it or not. And there's a lot of people in that locker room that would love to be first in line to go at him. He needs to focus on Nate Diaz in a couple of weeks. Because the last time we saw him in the octagon, he got beat.
Didn't he get his butt kicked?
He got beat.
Exactly.
And then he, at least show some sign of humbleness.
That's the thing. He doesn't show any of that.
Wrestling and MMA is combat sports. A lot of physicality involved. A lot of punching and kicking and body slams and things like that. And You got Ronda Rousey who dedicated a fight to a wrestler who he named after him, Roddy Piper, rest in peace. You have Brock
Right.
Lesnar who was with WWE, then with UFC, and now back with WWE. He played a
Yeah.
huge role of help making UFC a lot of money.
Exactly.
So yeah, Connor, he's barking with the wrong tree.
Exactly.
So
Too much talk.
yeah, and he wanted attention. Well, he got it.
He got a lot of attention. That's sure,
So
because like I said, we are family, and knock one down, we all come at you.
now, if you can have dream match but yeah, dream matches, who are some wrestlers out there, male, female, indie pro, that you will love to have a match with one day?
So you said indie or pro both?
Yes,
Either
yes,
one?
either one.
I would have to say Lita or Trish Stratus. I would love to have a match with one of them too. When I was managing, I would do a lot of the stuff that them two girls would actually do in them. And before she retired, they had the absolute kick-ass match. They were just so awesome. I mean, that would be my dream match, them two.
You know, Trish and Lita, you know,
Mm,
those ladies gave it their all.
exactly.
And I get there's a perception, like prior to what you see in WWE now, that they sign these female models and things like that. And Trish does
Exactly.
come from a fitness model background, but the difference between Trish and the others after her is that she wanted to be a wrestler eventually, and she worked extremely hard. She
Exactly.
improved. She got better. Next thing you know, she's a seven-time women's champion and now a WWE Hall of Famer. And
Exactly.
that just shows dedication on her part and wanted to be the best.
Exactly.
And that's who she was alongside with Lita. If anyone's looking for the next Lita, good luck with that, because I don't see another female doing the maneuvers that she's doing, unless it's
Oh,
Lucha,
exactly.
unless you're watching Lucha Libre somewhere in Mexico somewhere. I, there's not going to be another Lita.
Right.
She put her body on the line like crazy. You know,
Yep.
unfortunately for her career didn't last long because her body gave up on her for willing to take so many risks. But
Yep.
but but to see her play her role within the current women's division right now, and she's on the pre-shows, she still looks
Yeah.
great
She looks
and
amazing.
look amazing, and having to put up with Booker T and Jerry Lawler and Scott Stanford. Well, I say mostly Scott Stanford, uh, but she looks great. And the women's division, you know, I've been liking what I've seen, and now they had the brand extension a few weeks back, and it's like I think we all know who has the better roster. We Charlotte, Banks, and Paige, and then you have Natalia, Carmella, Naomi, and that red-headed girl who had a wardrobe malfunction this past
Oh,
Tuesday. Um, I can't forget Becky Lynch. I love me some
yes.
Becky. Um, so for you, seeing what WWE has done with this woman division, and now it's brand extension to different rosters. Like, what is your thoughts on the women's division as it is right now? Now with the whole brand extension, you think it's a good idea? You think they could have done more with this? Like, what's your take on this women's division right now?
I think it's amazing because with them doing that in the WWE has given us women in the independents an opportunity. Like I said, Because of that, like Sheldon Goldberg is now doing like a whole woman thing. Liberty States, who Todd Topol that runs it, he's doing stuff with me in there. So now that it's like more women, APW, I mean, all these other independent places are now starting to do a bunch of stuff with the women. So it's given us an opportunity to show that we're just not, you know, in the background. We're not just like whatever girls, you know, we're not just TNA, we're not just like managers. We're able to come out and show you that, you know what, we can have a kick-ass match. We can put it on. We can put it on just like a man can put it on. I think it's amazing, and I hope they do that much more with it. I mean, I love it the way it's going. Like I said, it's given us women in the independents, especially me, an opportunity to shine. And I'm taking that and I'm running.
They are definitely on the right path.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Wall side, I guess it's just a matter of Paige right now, because she's been going through some things behind the scenes right now, and it looked like she could have easily be the future of that division, considering
Absolutely.
how much she accomplished early in her WWE career, and you know, she kind of fell off a bit, and now you have the four horsewoman and Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley. I think we all know Bayley's going to be next up on the main roster soon. And now with this brand extension, more opportunities. It's only a matter of time that SmackDown division gets a women's championship.
Exactly.
It'll probably be like the women's championship on Raw, but with the color blue. And I jokingly call the women's championship the Red Velvet Cake Championship, because
I love that.
you know, and then I guess we can make it the Blueberry Championship for the women's side.
Exactly.
And, you know, with Bayley and Asuka coming up at TakeOver Brooklyn, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, Charlotte versus Sasha at SummerSlam, the debut of Ebner Moon. I'm a fan of her since she was Athena in Texas. If you haven't seen her wrestle before, you are in for a good treat at NXT
That's
TakeOver
awesome.
Brooklyn. She is phenomenal, very versatile, and she's going to blow you away. For those who
That's
have
awesome.
not seen her yet. Before I let you go, and I appreciate you being on for the pretty much the entire second half of this show.
Yeah. Women's wrestling's taking over.
Yes, and I love it. No complaints on no complaints from whatsoever. Why don't you go ahead, promote your social media links where people can go to check you out, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any other link people need to know.
Oh yeah. Let's see. The Twitter is Lady X Bomb, and we've got Facebook for Vanity Vixsin, which is the VIXSIN. I have a Vanity Vixsin page on Facebook, and same thing with Instagram. That's me. Definitely come see me. I post everything and all my matches as soon as they're done, because I tape them and I put them up immediately. So I'm constantly showing everything. And my YouTube as well. You can see my matches from recent to years back. I got a lot of different matches with Mistress Belmont that were awesome. So I would definitely go check it out and sign up for the YouTube and see all my matches.
Well, Vanity Vixsin, it was great chatting with you, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being on. Had a really good time chatting with you, and just congratulations on being in the wrestling business for 2 decades and still counting.
Thank you.
And good
and
luck.
still looking good.
And good luck in your upcoming matches, including this weekend. And again, thanks for your time. Truly appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you very much for having me on. I'm very honored. I had a great time.
Let's do this again sometime. Let's do this again down the road.
Absolutely. I will definitely contact me anytime. I will definitely do this again.
Absolutely. You have a great night and have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you very much, love.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Vanity Vixsin from the New England area joining me